well. It's a development that I truly believe will serve as the template for what we want to do here in downtown Point Pleasant Beach in 2020 and beyond. This was truly a team effort. Steve and Joe have agreed on a deal that will ensure that this building stands for another 113 years for the residents of Point Pleasant Beach, their kids, their grandkids, and their great-grandkids to enjoy. Now for the background. It's a good one. As everyone here knows, Joe and I have been on opposite sides of this issue for much of the past year. He purchased the building not knowing its true historic value, and he had plans to tear it down and replace it with a more modern property. The truth of the matter was much of this was indeed Point Pleasant Beach's fault. We have no historic ordinances in town, and therefore no protections or even guidance on any of our beautiful historic properties. As sad as this was, Joe was fully within his rights to tear the building down. This, however, did not stop me from trying to find every possible legal solution to stop it. When the town received the permit for demolition of the building, I knew the end for Gottlieb's was fast approaching. We had no recourse to deny the permit, and it was issued shortly thereafter. Asbestos abatement crews came in just 2 weeks ago and literally peeled the roof off, amongst other actions in preparation for demolition this week. I was literally in the process of planning a last stand to camp out in front of the building in hopes of drawing more attention to its plight. And I can't go into too many details because I don't want Joe to know, but there might have been a tent involved, a sleeping bag involved, and some other things as well. Now this is when Steve Fisher came into the picture, and I truly believe changed the course of Point Pleasant Beach history. Steve and I had met earlier during the campaign, quickly hit it off, and he had expressed an interest in getting more involved in the community, giving back and helping to create a more vibrant place for his family to call home after their recent move. We've been discussing opportunities over the past few months, and it even made an offer that was turned down to buy and save Everybody's General Store just about a block away. With the wrecking ball coming this week for Gottlieb's, I asked Steve if he would take on the monumental task of somehow buying this building in such a short time frame and fixing it up in a manner that would make it a true asset for the town. Steve didn't hesitate, Sue didn't hesitate, and part of the puzzle was in place. We just now needed to find a way to approach Joe and have him see that this was a legitimate option. I turned to my friend George Loader, and he took Joe and his wife Antonella out to lunch and convinced them to at least hear our proposal. We all met a few days later upstairs at Duke's Tap and Tavern while the restaurant was closed, and a deal was reached. It became very apparent during that meeting just how much Joe and Antonella wanted to do the right thing for Point Pleasant Beach. And I'm happy to count him as a friend now, after what was a rocky start at best. He was into this project for a considerable amount of money, and ultimately chose unselfishly to put Point Pleasant Beach's interests first. Now the biggest part of this whole deal to me is what it symbolizes for downtown Point Pleasant Beach. We currently have multiple historic properties up for sale, and in varying degrees of project planning. I want this to serve as a defining moment for the future of Arnold and Bay Avenues. In January, I will be announcing sweeping measures to protect our historic buildings and incentivize building owners to do the right things with their properties. We're going to bring in economic and business development expertise and a true plan for creating a vibrant year-round environment here. Over the coming years, Point Pleasant Beach's downtown will become a truly special place that our residents and people around the state of New Jersey will be envious of. But for today, let's focus on the first massive piece of the puzzle. Steve and Sue are planning on spending roughly $1 million in renovations and are looking at possible entertainment options to create a place our community will flock to. Their generosity is what made this all even possible. This is their day, and I'd like to turn things over to them now. Steve, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Paul. Sue and I couldn't be more excited to be standing here with you and Joe, to let everybody know that we work together to save and ultimately restore this beautiful historic building. This means a lot to Sue and I. We moved to Point Pleasant Beach just about 2.5 years ago after having built our career in the Silicon Valley in the tech industry. And Sue's from New Jersey, and as we were approaching retirement, she said, you know, I'd really like to move back to New Jersey. And I said, that would be fine, as long as we can live on the beach. And she was very okay with that. And so in September 2014, we bought some property, built a house, and in June of 2017, we moved here and we're never going to leave. And we love living on the beach. But really, what we really love is this town. Everybody here has been so kind and so welcoming and made us feel part of the community. And so as I was approaching retirement and last day I retired, we sat down and thought, what do we want to do? Where do we want to put our energy? We decided to put our energy into giving back to this town that has meant so much to us and such a short period of time. And that's when I reached out to Paul. You know, like so many others, I was inspired by Paul's campaign during the primary, and I just sent them a note and said, hey, I'd like to meet and be in touch with the shrimp box. And, you know, you have lunch with Paul and you can't help but be inspired by his passion and his vision for our town, and even more about how he and Laura Roy embraced our family and made us feel welcome and as vibrant members of our community. And it just means so much to us that he did that and really invited us in. So we're excited to be able to do our part to help him realize his vision for how to make Point Pleasant Beach and Point Pleasant Beach be even more amazing place to live while preserving our town's rich history and character. And it's become clear that the center of that vision is in this downtown right here. His passion for our beautiful old buildings is infectious, and we're committed to try and do our part. And of course, nothing symbolizes the history and character of our town more than this building right here. And so, when Paul and George were able to bring us together with Joe and Antonella at Duke's, I was all in. And then I had the pleasure of meeting and getting to know both Joe and Antonella, and I think it's fair to say we hit it off immediately. And that brings us to today, where we stand with Paul and our newest friends in town, Joe, and unfortunately Antonella couldn't be here, but we're going to have dinner with them shortly, to be able to announce our commitment to not only buy Gottlieb's, but also restore this beautiful building and make sure it's an essential part of a vibrant downtown here in Point Beach. We're so grateful to Joe and Antonella for giving us this opportunity, and especially for Paul's friendship and leadership, without which this beautiful building wouldn't be here anymore. And we look forward to working with everyone in our community, especially with Joe and Antonella, to help us restore Gottlieb's as a vibrant part of downtown Point Pleasant Beach.
So